Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or welcome to the channel if you're brand new here. For today's pick a card reading, very short and sweet, our topic is all about what challenge will resolve for you soon. So if recently you have been dealing with an obstacle you just want cleared out of the way desperately, or perhaps just an issue you've been working on or worried about that you're like, oh man, how is this going to clear? Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? This is the perfect reading for you to glean what obstacle the universe is going to clear out next for you to make your path easier. So, without further ado, let us pick our piles. We're actually picking with both oracle cards and crystals today. That is new to the channel. I thought it'd be neat to do some crystals as well as oracle cards. So, Spirit, if you could guide us to the right cards to help us choose our piles today, that would be awesome. Thank you. Okay, definitely some contenders. I'm feeling this one for pile 1. We have Water of Air, Collective Insight. We'll pick the crystals in a moment once we're done with the oracle cards. For pile 2 in the middle, we have another Water of Fire, Subconscious Reflection. And last but not least, for pile 3, I feel this one back here, we have Earth of Shadow, Heavy Matters. There we go. And then let's pick the crystals. So I am personally drawn to, let's see, for pile 1, I'm going to say the Sodalite here. So pile 1 is Sodalite and Collective Insight. Pile 2, I'm drawn to the Aventurine. So pile 2 is Aventurine and Subconscious Reflection. And last but not least, for pile 3, of course, we have Obsidian with Heavy Matters over here on the right. Though, of course, you're always welcome to pause on this part of the reading right here to decide what pile you would like read for you if you haven't already decided yet. But whenever you are ready, pile 1, 2, and 3. Drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment beneath the video. Click on the timestamp there for your pile and your crystal, and I'll see you in our little chat about what challenge will resolve for you soon. See you there. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about what challenge will resolve for you soon. As you recall, your pile today was the card Collective Insight as well as the crystal of Sodalite. So, as is our custom, we'll set your pilator over here to the left next to the pine cone, as well as your beautiful Sodalite. Keep those nice and tucked over here. And then to begin the reading, let us begin with oracle cards. So, Spirit, coming forward for my lovely pile 1, would you please guide us to the right cards that explains more about what challenge will resolve for them soon? Thank you. And I'm feeling this one towards the front. We have the Bat and the Hellebore with Intuition. And number 19, if you're interested in the numerology, Intuition. Interesting. And we think of bats as animals that they can't see very well most of the time, so they navigate using echolocation. So they'll make their little screeches and squeaks, and it helps bounce back off of surfaces. So that ties into the theme of intuition, because they fly and they navigate not so much by what they can see, but by other methods. Okay, so maybe recently you've been having an obstacle in your way or a challenge where most of the issue is just you not knowing exactly what's coming up ahead. A lack of information of some sort, okay? Especially too because of the pilator you were drawn to with Collective Insight. I also feel like it's like some sort of information from other people that you're lacking, and it's really frustrating you, pile 1, because as we think of Collective Insight, we think of like, oh, knowledge that a whole group knows and understands, right? And maybe just right now you're not getting the collective insight from this group, and so you've been kind of navigating based on intuition, and you're just really frustrated by it, pile 1 maybe. Is kind of what's going on. Let's see what else. The Lantern Oracle will also give us a very good indication of what's going on. I was just saying, number 5, the unknown, and knowing the unknown, literally. So pile 1, definitely this seems like a type of challenge that you've been lacking information, you've been wading through the unknown. You're like, well, what the heck do I do when I do not have the information that I need? Okay. Very relatable problem. I've been there myself. I think pretty much everybody in the world has, at least at one point, part of it might be that people are holding information from you on purpose, or maybe they're just being kind of ignorant and they're not really understanding, hey, I need to give pile 1 some more info here. Like, maybe things have just been very difficult to get information on. Yeah. We'll glean some more information on that as well, especially with your tarot cards, but we do have one last oracle card to draw for you. Okay, let's see what else Nature's Whispers has to say. Knowing the unknown. Withholding info from you, huh? We have Catch Your Breath, number 15. Maybe it's to the point where you feel pretty stressed here, pile 1. You're like, I don't know what the heck I am going to do. I feel like I need time to catch my breath. Maybe you don't even know when to rest, because it's like that sort of thing where like problems can kind of crop up at like any point, and you're always kind of on edge. You're always aware of like, okay, when is something else going to go wrong that I have to deal with? But yeah, overall, based on just the oracle cards so far, I'll repeat just a little bit here, pile 1. The challenge that the universe is going to solve for you soon is something along the lines of you lacking information you sorely need, most likely from a group of people, okay? Something that you've had to kind of navigate almost blind, kind of just from hearsay from other people, like we were just talking about with the bat and how they use echolocation rather than their actual sight to navigate things. And it's left you very stressed out, pile 1, especially with Catch Your Breath over here. You're like, I just need rest. I'm sick of this confusing mess. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. How do I get the information I need? And like I said, it's possible, yeah, that maybe some people are withholding information from you. Like with collective insight, it's almost like a group. So it could be people at work. It could be people in your family that are withholding information that you really want to know. Or it could be like a group that you're working with in terms of community, and like something's very vague and it's hard to understand kind of what to do next because no one's outlining anything and no one is being forthcoming with, okay, you can't blame yourself, pile 1, because if you don't have the information you need, you can't really be expected to do everything perfectly. So Catch Your Breath might also be a sign from Spirit to pat yourself on the back a little bit more, just like catch your breath, and don't feel so stressed out about how it will reflect on you just because you don't have the information that you need to go forward with this particular challenge, okay? This feels like something intuitively to me is more out of your hands than anything. It's less a you problem and more of either the group, if they're withholding information on purpose, or if they're being just kind of ignorant and not giving you what they're supposed to, or maybe they're running behind. Could be some sort of project where it's like someone has to get some step done before you can start your step. Like that happens in workplaces all the time. So just don't blame yourself for this, pile 1, at all. Like, not at all. You can't know what you don't know, and you're doing your best with what you have, is what I'm being told. So take a deep breath and just know I'm not the problem here. This seems like a more external problem than anything else. So let's draw your tarot cards and see what's going on here more. This will glean more nitty-gritty type details. So Spirit, same thing, around 5 cards for my lovely pile 1. Can you explain everything from inciting incident to outcome? Thanks. Core of the issue, what's going on? Okay, we've got 1, 2. There we go. So that was the first card, was the 4 of Cups. Apathy, not paying attention to something. So it could be ignorance on the other people's part. They're just not paying attention to what they need. And then the Death card reversed is a lack of change in this area. Core of the issue is the King of Pentacles. Most likely something to do with either money or career is what this problem is resolving around for you, pile 1. We have 2 of Pentacles, balancing things, and the last card, outcome, is justice. Beautiful. So pile 1, pretty straightforward. The inciting incident here, the very beginning cards, we have the 4 of Cups, like I just said. The 4 of Cups is all about apathy. It's about someone not really paying attention to things that they're supposed to be paying attention to. So it almost seems to me that the main problem happening is that someone's dropping the ball when it comes to their attention. If you're wondering, like, why am I not getting this information that I need? Why am I being kind of left in the dark? It's not malice. It's not someone trying to dig you. It's more like someone just being kind of, I don't want to say dumb because that's mean, but like, you know what I mean? Pile one. It's more someone just kind of being like, la-di-da, I'm doing my own thing. And then they're like, oh crap. Maybe later they'll realize, oh, I was supposed to give that information to pile one, like, or I'm supposed to have that thing done, or whatever the step that you're waiting on from them for. So it's more apathy. It could also mean a little bit of laziness too. The Four of Cups, especially this particular depiction, which I'll hold up here for you in a moment. This particular depiction is someone who's just like lazing around in a field, having a grand old time. Like, oh, I'm just laid back. I'm enjoying my day by the tree. Got nothing to do. So it could be a little bit of laziness too, pile one, if you're wondering, like, why is this happening? And what's happening after that, the problem really comes down to Death reversed here as the second card. That's the card of a lack of change. Maybe you even ask this person, hey, can you, hurry it up a little bit, snap, snap, or the group of people if it's more than one person, and they're just not changing. They're just like, la-di-da, I'm doing my thing. Like, they're just dragging their heels, or they're not paying attention, or, and of course, pile one, that very understandably creates, like, a lot of stress on your part, because you're like, oh my god, I need this to get done. You need to get your crap done so that I can get my crap done, that kind of feeling, but it's just not leading to change. And then the core card here, the heart of the matter is what I like to call this middle card, is the King of Pentacles, and he is the card that is all about mastery of career, mastery of finances, especially when it comes to the material world around us. It's masculine achievement energy within career and finances. Okay, so probably what is really worrying you is, am I going to be able to get this job done? For most of you, it's probably literally your career where this is involved in, and you're like, oh my god, like, I don't want to fumble this project. I don't want this to go absolutely, like, dumpster fire bad because of these people or this person before that's lazy, not paying attention, and they're refusing change. Okay. And so that's what you're worried about, is success in career. Like, I need this to work. And then in terms of trajectory, these are future cards here. So we have like near future, or the steps going forward, and then we have the outcome as the very final card. And what I'm going to tell you, pile one, is that there's a little bit of a balancing act coming along, okay? It might require you, I'm sorry to say, but I'm not going to sugarcoat, but when we have the Two of Pentacles in a reading, it means someone having to balance finances or having to juggle jobs, okay? So it might require a little bit more juggling on your part to get this problem to the solution that it needs to get to, or to the issue being fixed, right? And I'm trying to think exactly. I'm going to tap in intuitively for a moment and ask what it is you might juggle, or we could also draw some cards, but let me just ask first. They're just saying, like, just all the tasks involved. Like, you're just gonna have to keep juggling, and they understand it's like a complete pain in the butt, pile one. Like, they understand 100%, but spirit speaking, not the person causing the problem, is what I mean when I say they. But oh yeah, it's a balancing act on a tightrope, and they're really emphasizing how difficult that it's been for you so far, pile one. So commend yourself for that, as well as another part of their message, because it's not easy to be someone balancing and juggling all these problems while, like, someone is just not picking up their feet enough to help you. Like, that is something that you need to pat yourself on the back a little bit more, like, for that I said before. And the good news is that at the very end here, with the outcome, after just a little bit more time of juggling things, which I know sucks, but just a little bit longer, justice is the outcome. And what's beautiful about that is exactly what it says on the tin. This is going to resolve to a place that's fairer to you. Speaking of which, too, the Two of Pentacles can also mean balance, in terms of, like, we think of balance with justice. So there's going to be righting of the balance after that juggling period of time, and things are going to be fair once again, okay? Some of you, I'm getting an indication that it might even be that maybe someone left your department at your particular job, and, like, you've had to balance the job of, like, 2 people, and you're like, oh my god, how the heck am I going to be able to do this? And, like, nobody's giving you information on how to do that second person's job, or, like, they left before they could give information, or they were just a lazy butt about it, and they just were like, yeah, it's not my problem anymore. So they just left, and they're like, screw everybody else here. And so then they dropped the ball, and then you had to pick up the ball and keep juggling all that stuff going on. And so, but it is going to be righted in the end, pile 1. I promise you, okay? With that justice card, it's going to turn out fairer for you. So if you're afraid that people involved are not going to right these problems, if you're afraid that, you're going to be completely crushed or fumble the ball, that doesn't seem to be the case from what I am seeing here with your cards, pile 1. It's going to turn out just fine. Okay, so that is the obstacle that's clearing for you next. I do want to ask 2 additional questions for you today, pile 1, based on this particular reading. I want to ask first, how does it resolve? And then I want to ask advice on that juggling part, because I know that 2 of Pentacles is going to be a little bit more kind of the same difficulty that you've been going through, because I know, like, as a tarot reader, me telling you, hey, it might be still a little bit of a struggle for a while is, like, not fun to hear, but I want to give you the tools that I can to equip you the best I can to go forward with this particular issue happening. So, Spirit, calling in for pile 1, could you please tell us more about how this resolves? What causes that justice? 3 cards, please. And then, of course, we'll have advice too, but let's try to find out how it resolves first so that you can kind of keep an eye out for it when it comes. We have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so I almost wonder if this is like a job-related thing, pile 1, if they might hire someone new in, because the Page of Pentacles is like a apprentice or like a trainee, maybe even like an intern of some sort, within the realm of career and finance, because it's the Pentacles card. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles reversed, okay? That is a lack of fairness or like a lack of balance, but just hear me out. It's funny that you got Justice and then you got the other card that means imbalance. And then we have the 7 of Swords reversed, okay? So that's deception revealed, or something revealed that was tricky. So let me look at those for just a moment. How does this resolve? So, okay, yeah, so if this is career related for you, pile 1, I'm just going to reiterate, I think they're going to hire someone in that's new, potentially somebody that is younger, maybe like an intern, or they're like not quite as experienced as you are, to come in and help you. That's where I'm seeing this Page of Pentacles come in. And or it's like just someone in general, if it's not a job, that's like a younger person involved with like the financial or the material things regarding this situation and these problems, okay? And then their role is going to be to right that unfairness, because we have the 6 of Pentacles reversed. 6 of Pentacles is all about the equal distribution of things. They're going to take a little bit of the load off of you. Thank God, finally, right? You're probably like, oh my God, holy crap, thank you. Because I've been there before with skeleton crew departments myself, and it's never fun having to do the multiple jobs of multiple people all alone, of course. I get that, pile 1. And then same thing too. What's interesting is the 7 of Swords reversed. There's a little bit of a strange aspect here where, especially with the presence of the 6 of Pentacles reversed and the Justice card as the outcome, I almost think there's going to be something revealed based on the work of this person that comes in, this Page of Pentacles, that's going to reveal that there was some sort of deception or trickery going on. Like, something is not what it seemed. Like, I'm not going to 100% say it's like something like super bad, like, I don't know, someone skimming money, or like someone... I feel like it's more something like whoever was in the position before was like screwing something up, and then like that's going to be revealed of like how they were screwing up, kind of, because of this person that's hired or like brought in. That's very interesting. But in either case, pile 1, however that resolves exactly with the revelation of a deception or trickery with the 7 of Swords reversed, it leads to a fair outcome with justice. So there's also just an element of justice in general with this, like, not just fairness to you, but like justice being righted within this like group or this workplace, however it specifically applies to you. Yeah, and it's going to be such a big relief. And even here in the Six of Pentacles, we have an older female figure handing an apple down to a younger female figure. So once again, I almost kind of see like a mentor trainee role, or like someone who's older or more experienced training, or like working with someone who is younger. And they're going to be a lot of help to you, pile 1. Okay, they're going to be someone who is, they're going to help you right the the injustice of what's going on. And I really see them as someone who is sharp. I see them as someone who is, despite their inexperience, they're someone who is very good about being fair to people too. They're going to want to help you take the load more equally. They're not just going to slack like maybe the earlier person did, that they took the position of, or are kind of trying to fill the role of, things like that. So that's how that is going to be cleared. And then last but not least, I do want to ask, but before that happens, when that person comes in, maybe they hire someone to help you, what's advice on juggling it in the meantime? Because you're probably like, I cannot absolutely wait until that light at the end of the tunnel comes through, but there's a little bit more work to be done. So let's ask advice on the work to be done, the juggling in between. So thank you, Spirit, for that. 3 cards. What's the juggling between? Advice on that. We have the Empress reversed. Okay. I'm going to wait to talk on that because that can be kind of contextual to paste on. Okay, the Tower. Interesting. That's going to be... Oh boy. Okay, so, and then the Knight of Wands reversed. Ooh, okay. Oofta. Let's see. Okay, so hear me out, pile 1. This is gonna sound very odd, but there is advice here. Oh, this is gonna sound weird. Okay, this is how I'll put it. The Tower card in tarot is all about something falling down. And next to the Empress reversed is a lack of nurturing of something, and the Knight of Wands reversed is a lack of taking action towards something. Oh boy, this is going to be odd. I almost would say that this is advice when it comes to juggling things, to almost kind of let something happen or let something go to disaster, so that people finally realize that there is a problem that needs to be fixed, perhaps by hiring that person we were just talking about. I mean, you know your situation more than I do, pile 1. So if you really, really are like, I don't know if that would be a good idea, like, then you follow your own intuition before you follow mine. But what I am telling you is that based on these cards, the advice is sometimes, especially with the Tower, this is literally what the Tower means in tarot, sometimes to make better foundations for stronger structures, we need to let the old broken things fall down. Okay? So I would almost say, if this is a potential avenue you would consider letting something fail or fall down, so that the problem is revealed and people realize, oh, this is actually... Because it almost sounds like maybe people haven't been listening to you. It's almost like a Cassandra from Greek mythology, where she was blessed with the ability to see the future, but cursed with the ability of, like, nobody would ever believe her. She would see the future and say, hey, there's this disaster coming, and then no one ever listened to her. It's really unfortunate, right? And that's how I feel like what you are in this situation is a Cassandra saying, hey, we've got this major problem coming because people are slacking, or they're not giving us the information they need, and they're not changing, right? Or, you know, we're not filling this role if someone left, and, you know, people just aren't listening to you, like, oh, whatever, it's fine. And then, so that's why your advice here is, what I'm feeling is just to let things fall if you can. You know, or don't be as nurturing of things, like projects or things involved with this. And yeah, let it fall. I know it sounds very odd, but that's what I'm seeing with these particular cards of advice on the juggling in between. So almost like the juggling is almost like you juggling and then letting the ball fall. Because you, I'm getting a message of, like, you're just one person, pile 1. Okay? You can't handle it all by yourself, and it's absolutely not your fault if it goes to crap, because they were trying to pressure of, like, too much work upon one person, or all that responsibility on one person. Okay? Sometimes in order to fix a bone or set a bone, you have to break it. That's like another kind of interpretation of the tower. Sometimes things need to collapse a little bit before it can get better, because then people are like, oh, that is a problem. And then, of course, you're in the background like, well, duh. But, you know, that happens in workplaces all the time. People don't listen to people, and then crap happens, right? But I will reassure you, though, Pile 1. In the very end, we have that justice card we talked about before. Things will be set right, and you will get the help that you need. It's just that a little bit of that juggling in the meantime might require things falling down, or you at least letting them fall, so that people finally pay attention when they didn't listen to your advice, okay? Sometimes the best teacher is failure for people, okay? You know, or maybe it's like you've been propping somebody else up so that things don't fall down. If that's the case, Pile 1, if someone's just being lazy and you've had to do their work just to keep things from falling down, let it go. And when the boss comes calling and says, hey, why did this go to crap? Point your finger at the person who dropped the ball, not you, okay? Because that is their responsibility, okay? So that's what I'm saying there in terms of your advice. Let the ball drop. As long as it's not the ball that you know, like, that is, like, fair for you to have to juggle either on your own or to juggle for someone else. You know what I kind of mean there, Pile 1? Okay. But yes, it'll get fixed in the end. Okay, just batten down the hatches a little bit. You'll be fine, though. Okay. So that is the obstacle, the challenge that will resolve for you soon. So quite an intense reading here, Pile 1. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope it resonated and you liked it. If so, please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is custom on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading, Pile 1. Bye. Hello there, my lovely Pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about what challenge will resolve for you soon. As you recall, your pile today was Subconscious Reflection with the Crystal of Aventurine. So as is tradition, we'll set your pile leader to the left here next to the pine cone along with your beautiful Aventurine. And then right off the bat, let us draw our oracle cards. So, Spirit, coming forward for pile 2 today, can you give us more cards that will help us glean about what challenge will resolve for them soon? Thank you. Okay, that was quick. We have the Spider and the Passion Flower with Creative Ingenuity, which is actually very fascinating because the Subconscious Reflection card you picked for your pile leader today, pile 2, is all about the meaning of, well, literally like water meaning emotions and intuition meaning fire, which is willpower and passion, okay? Fire meaning like creativity, and ingenuity being like, I suppose it's a little bit of air there because ingenuity can mean like logical thought too, but I'm almost seeing it more as, you know, maybe there's a problem or an obstacle that has come up for you where you're looking for a solution and you're like, I need the perfect idea just to come forward to fix this problem or to make through this obstacle, okay? So almost like well, kind of like what it says right off the bat there with creative ingenuity. It's like you brainstorming your butt off and like just nothing maybe is coming through, and that's the issue that I'm seeing for this particular pile today. But let's glean some more information. We'll have other oracle cards. We'll get more details. See what's going on. It's where your passions meet your intuition and where problems meet solutions. Yeah. Let's see what the Lantern Oracle has to say. I'm drawn to this one. We have Inner Integration, number 40. I'll just read off the bottom. It says, there is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and the tempering effect that life has on us. So sometimes this card can mean different generations in family. So perhaps there is like a family generational thing going on that you're worried about, or you're trying to come up with like ideas or solutions to pile 2. It could also mean like you're trying to come up with like a solution for like a younger or an older version of yourself. So that can mean like a problem that stemmed from childhood, or it could also mean a problem that you're trying to overcome that is about like doing what's best for you in the future. Like I think of, you know, saving for retirement or making sure your health is good now so that you're healthy when you're older, things like that. Let's draw the last card before I say too much more, because that card is a little bit more contextual, I would say. Let's draw the Nature's Whispers. So last but not least, from Nature's Whispers. A solution to a problem. And then we have a fresh approach, number 21. Yeah, That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm going to adjust in my chair here, so if you hear squeaky noises, that is my chair. Yeah, fresh approach. Needing to approach something in a new way. Yeah, so this just screams across the board here, pile 2, that you, the obstacle that the universe is going to clear, or the challenge, I should say, for you next is the solution to a problem that you've been trying to brainstorm or quickly figure out the solution to, okay? I want to say for a lot of you it has to do with, like, either people of different ages, or it could also be of family, especially with inter-integration here, or like I said, it's like you trying to come up with the right solution for a different version of yourself from a different time period of your life. Okay. Yeah, because the inter-integration card is all about, I mean, literally different generations of women you can see here. There's like a granddaughter, daughter, grandmother, great-grandmother. But then, too, I'm drawn to the gears on that particular card. So it's like the gears of something running, keeping the machine going. Could also just be for someone that's younger or older in your family that you're trying to figure out a solution to. Like, how do I fix this for my daughter or my son or my parent? Things like that. And I want to say part of it, too, is there is a solution available to you, but you're just not seeing it yet, because subconscious reflection, the pile leader you were drawn to, is all about, like, figuring out actions to take based on subconscious things that we haven't realized yet. Okay, that's like I said, the fire and the water meeting together with the subconscious versus action. Okay. You're gonna have to be real clever about it. I think I'm hearing something about bringing about the stability of something. Like you're trying to bring stability with this idea. Let's actually draw your tarot cards, pile 2. I'm going to actually just ask for a general reading here first. Spirit for pile 2, could you give us 5 cards that explains more about the inciting incident, core issue, and the outcome of this particular problem? More context, please. Thank you. Card 1, the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay, unable to take action with our feelings, or could also be lack of taking action with relationships. Let's see what else we've got here. We have the Six of Wands. There's victory with something. Next up, we have the Three of Pentacles. You working together on something with someone else is the core or the heart of the matter. So it's something that you're working on with other people here, pile 2. There's a teamwork element involved here as the core of what's going on. So perhaps the group even that's talked about inter-integration is more just like, yeah, it could be family, but it could also be like a group of people at your work that are like different ages. Things like that. And then we have the Five of Swords reversed, avoiding a conflict, beautiful. And the outcome is the Ace of Wands, a new idea, beautiful, new passion. And it's more of a new idea in terms of not logical thinking like the Ace of Swords would be. It's more of a new idea in terms of a new spark of, okay, here's the ember that we can kind of quick breathe into life to get the fire going, to get this thing off the ground or keep it running, right? Beautiful. Okay. Especially, it's a good sign in terms of creative problems to get the Ace of Wands. Be like, okay, here's a solution to my creative problem, right? So, let's look at the inciting incident here, pile 1. Excuse me, I'm going to call you pile 1. Pile 2. is the Knight of Cups reversed. So, I think someone involved, it could be you or somebody else, pile 2. They were unable to take action regarding something that they felt or something like in a relationship with somebody else, okay? Especially regarding them aiming for a victory of some sort, with the Six of Wands being the secondary card next to the inciting incident. It could be an idea regarding the stability of a group of relationships, like a whole group of people, the stability of like a romantic relationship. It could also be like someone's emotional stability in general, and wanting to claim victory over whatever the problem was, okay? And so it's like you've been trying to generate ideas in this area, like how do I fix this emotional or relationship issue? And the core of the matter, like I said before, I'll just repeat, is the Three of Pentacles, which is teamwork, working together with somebody. So it could be a relationship where it's like to a family member, a group of family members, like I said, or a group of people at work, like we already repeated before. It feels like it's more of a group than a one-on-one thing. And perhaps it's like people not working together is the more core of the matter, or trying to get these people to synchronize with each other if there's been disagreements. Because what's interesting, pile 2, is that the near future you have the Five of Swords, but you've got it reversed, which literally means avoiding a harsh conflict. So I think maybe you're almost afraid of a conflict occurring within this group of people, family, workplace, etc., and you're like, oh my god, I have to come up with an idea of how to avoid that, because that is the absolute last thing that we need when it comes to what we need to work together. We can't just fight, is what I'm hearing here. Like, you're working towards a victory, yes, but the first problem to be solved is avoiding a conflict of some sort. And what they're saying, pile 2, is that this area that you've been struggling with, bam, outcome, the Ace of Wands, is a new idea in terms of like an action to take, or like the passion involved, okay, of the creative problem that you're trying to solve. It is a beautiful card to get as an outcome for this particular reading, okay? Now, I know that's kind of vague because I'm going to draw some more cards for you, pile 2. I do want to ask Spirit both advice for you going forward on resolving this, and also exactly how does the outcome resolve. So I'm going to do just like I did for pile 1. I'm going to actually ask about the outcome first. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile 2, can you tell me more about the Ace of Wands outcome? How exactly does that outcome come about? Thank you. 3 cards. Where does this idea come from that solves the problem? Where does the idea come from that solves the issue? We have the King of Pentacles reversed. We'll talk about that in just a second. We have the Hermit. Interesting. Introspection. Then we have the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, so pile 2. Where you're getting this idea to fix the problem definitely is within yourself. That reflects not only your subconscious reflection card that you were drawn to in the very beginning of this reading, but we have both the Hermit, which is about introspection, thinking individually rather than within a group, even though this is a group problem, right? You also have the Three of Cups reversed at the end here, which is about either avoiding social situations, which of course right next to the Hermit is very much like independent thinking energy, right? Or like not going to a certain social event, or like just avoiding groupthink is another way how I would put that. So I almost would extract yourself away from the group a little bit and think independently in order to get that idea, because there might be some external influences in this group that are maybe leading to like just kind of what I said, maybe some groupthink problems or peer pressure to be like, hey, you need to think this way rather than this way. Really deep down reflect on what do I think should be the solution. Maybe even just kind of take some time away from these people and introspect a little bit more on it. And then the King of Pentacles reversed is a very interesting card to get in this particular position. King of Pentacles reverse is usually about, like, someone lacking, like, financial stability or, like, a lack of concern for finances. It could indicate that part of the outcome is to not think so much about the money or, like, the material side of things. Okay. It can also mean that perhaps the main person, because the King of Pentacles can also be an actual person, right? That there's someone involved in the group that is, like, either, like, lording money over other people. It tends to be, like, a masculine figure if it is a king, right? It's just, like, someone who is doing not good things with money when it comes to their relationships with other people. So, like, yeah, like, holding money over other people's heads, like I was just saying. Or it could be someone who is not good with their money is another way. That is, like, kind of the energy that maybe you should kind of pull away from. And, or, like I said, it's, like, not considering financial things when it comes to finding out the solution to this problem. So, introspect, okay? Stay away from groups when you're thinking about the solution to this problem, okay? This is very introvert energy right here with these two cards, at least at the end, the Hermit and the Three of Cups reversed, okay? So that's how the outcome comes about of that great idea that completely fixes everything. Comes from within, pile 2. Within your own self. Listening to yourself more instead of the group, okay? And then last but not least, I know we already kind of got some advice here with these cards, but I do want to ask Spirit if it has any parting advice for you regarding this whole entire situation. Especially when it comes to, we talked about, too, like, avoiding a conflict. That could also mean, I know before I draw the next part of the reading here, pile 2, when it comes to avoiding a conflict, if that's what you're worried about, maybe stay away from this person a little bit more, that King of Pentacles reverse. This either lords their money or is, like, bad with money. Or is, like, bad with their career or something like that. Yeah. Be a little bit more of a hermit around that person or away from the group. Okay. So yeah, Spirit advice, please. Just for them going forward in general. Thank you, 3 cards. Advice. Okay, we have the World is the end of a certain chapter. The curtain closed to something. Don't be afraid to end things or put things to an end. And then we have lots of major arcana. The Empress reversed is a lack of nurturing. Then we have the Two of Cups as relationships and harmony. Okay, very interesting. So in terms of just general advice going forward with this problem, pile 2, number 1, don't be afraid to end things. Okay, don't be afraid to let go or bring things to closure, because the World is all about, like, the end of a cycle or, like, the final page of a chapter in something, okay? It is natural for things to end. It's natural for things to change, okay? That, too, with the Empress reversed is almost about, like either not nurturing something or needing to nurture something more, especially regarding relationships with the Two of Cups being right next to it, okay? So, I would almost say there's something here about you, what effort you put in versus what effort other people put in, okay? Where I almost want to say I feel like you're the one putting in too much effort, pile 2. And it needs to be more of an equal balance of things rather than... So, okay, so what I would almost say is the advice here is to pull away from nurturing so much and putting so much of yourself into something. And, like, putting an end to smothering things, okay? Like, it's not a flaw within you, pile 2, but at the same time, it's something that will bring more harmony, okay? Or bring closure to the problem. Is what they're saying in general. Like, don't be afraid to let go a little bit, is what they're saying here. It's okay to let go. Very, very interesting. Yeah, there's a lot about kind of separating yourself from others a bit. And distancing here, yeah. Very fascinating reading pile, too. Well, I believe that is it for today's reading pile, too. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that reading was helpful for you. I hope it brought, some relief to you to hear, oh my god, this problem is going to finally be solved. We're going to have this idea that comes forward that fixes everything. If you liked the reading, if it resonated with you, please, like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and other people in the future. And as is tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, Pile 2. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my lovely Pile number 3. Welcome today to your Pick a Card reading about what challenge will resolve for you soon. As you recall, the pile you chose was Earth of Shadow Heavy Matters with the Crystal of Obsidian. So as is tradition, we'll set your pile leader over here to the left along with your Obsidian close to the pine cone. And right away, let's begin with drawing some oracle cards. So Spirit, coming forward for pile 3 today. Could you please drive us to the right cards that will explain more about the challenge that will resolve for them soon. Thank you. Feeling this one right here, the Ram and the Dahlia with determination. Stubborn-headedness. Pile 3, I almost wonder if either you are very determined or stubborn to carry too much of a burden of some sort, or someone else is a bit too determined to pile too many burdens upon you. Seems like that is part of the issue today. Of course, we'll see more with your other cards, but right off the bat, just with your pile leader and the Ram and Dahlia, it's like someone in the situation is being very stubborn about something. And it's either yourself or someone else when it comes to burdens or too much pressure. Too many things on your back. Let's draw the Lantern Oracle to gain more insight. That'll give us a pretty straightforward answer. Oh, definitely that one. We have Distorted Desire, number 15, and I'll read it. It says, conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. A lot of dark, earthy colors in your reading today, too. Almost like heart chakra, a little bit blocked. Distorted Desire. It's very interesting, pile 3, because I'm very drawn to... the way I want to describe this card is... so how, how in stories, depending on, book, video game, movie, TV show, whatever medium you digest stories through, there tends to be an external goal for the main character. However, what it really is hiding a need deep underneath that the actual desire that they're going after doesn't fulfill. So, like, for example, say there's a character that really wants fame. Okay, so they really go after, I'm going to be the best singer ever. Let's just use that as an example. And the problem, though, is with that particular example character is deep down, though, why do they actually want to be famous? Why do they want to be a singer? Is it through the passion of singing, or is it actually the distorted desire of acceptance from, say, like a parent that pushed them towards it? Or maybe they lack self-esteem and they want the outside validation of people praising them being a famous singer. Things like that. So that's kind of how I was drawn to describe that particular card to you. So it seems like also part of the matter here with this challenge is, it's like you're really determined to achieve something, or someone else is, and it's affecting you in a way that the achievement of whatever it is not satisfying the deep desire inside. Okay. And it's almost like you're like at the cusp of realizing it, and you have this dissatisfaction is what I'm feeling with this particular matter. It's like putting more burdens on you than you thought it would. You thought it would bring you more satisfaction than it actually has. And so now you're coming to the problem or the challenge of, well, what do I do now with this dissatisfaction? Okay. That's almost more like what I'm seeing here. Let's also draw your Nature's Whispers. I haven't even gotten to the final Oracle card yet, but it's like you're that character I was describing where you really, really sought after something, but it's not bringing you the happiness you thought it would, or it's not turning out the way that you thought it would. However, it's like you're still stubborn or determined, or someone else is still stubborn or determined to keep you on this path. And you're wondering, what the heck solution do I come to? Let's see. From the Nature's Whispers, the big picture, number 6. The big picture. Looking at things from a bird's eye view rather than the finer details on the ground. Looking at it from above rather than below. Very interesting, pile 3. What do I really want? It's like you finally realized the entirety of something. And you're like, this is what it is? Like, like you finally have the big picture and it's not as pretty as you thought it would be. You're like, oh no, wait, wait a minute. But it's like you're still pursuing it, I feel like, because you still have, I mean, like determination with the ram, right? Being stubborn about it. But at the same time, it could be that you're either running away from realizing what it's costing you or what it doesn't really satisfy within you, or a part of you might be thinking, well, what the heck else am I supposed to do now? I just have to keep going. But it's not satisfying a desire deep down, and it's costing you more than it's giving you, pile 3. Okay. That's what I'm seeing with this particular reading so far. I'm very curious. Usually I don't draw the tarot cards quite this early, but I do actually want to get more details exactly on what's going on. So Spirit, for pile 3, could you please give me inciting incident, core of the matter, outcome, general reading for them. 5 cards, please. Thank you. What the heck is going on here? Let's see. Very beginning, the inciting incident is you were trying to run away from something. 6 of Swords. I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to move away. Could be an actual physical move. It could also just be like getting away from something. It's very funny because you have a lot of imagery of like things running. You have literally the woman running in distorted desire. But you also have the 6 of Swords, which means like moving away from something physically. Okay. I'm running. Okay, yep. Knight of Wands reversed. I am dead tired. I am beat. Okay. Did not turn out the way you thought it would. It is not quite as easy as you thought it would be. You're bone dry tired. You're lacking determination. Okay, literally it's funny because you got the ram, which means determination, but the Nine of Wands reversed is like running out of determination for something. Core of the matter is the 7 of Wands, defending oneself, protecting oneself from the wolves, like a shepherd protecting a flock. You're trying to protect yourself, I can tell you that. With the 7 of Wands here is the core, defending oneself. Then we have the Chariot, driving forward with purpose, having control. And then what's the solution to the outcome? We have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Very interesting. Needing to slow down. Okay. So, well, I'll tell you this, pile 3. Whatever the matter is that's going on right now that you're recognizing from what I already, like, context clues I gave you, the outcome at the very end is the Knight of Pentacles reversed, like we just drew. And the Knight of Pentacles reversed is all about needing to take action either in a slower way or more deliberately, in a more careful manner, okay? Perhaps almost what you're asking for seems to be more control over what's going on, so you can make decisions a bit more slowly and carefully, or maybe a chance to make a decision more carefully the next time after realizing this particular path you're on maybe isn't making you the happiest you thought it would, okay? But that seems to be the solution to the outcome, the challenge that's being overcome, kind of the theme of the reading. But, I mean, leading up to that, though, we have a lot of context clues. So, like I said, it feels like you were moving away from something, and you're like, oh, this is going to be like a grand adventure, or I'm going to escape something, and then it turned out with the Nine of Wands reversed, like I said, I'm dead tired. I'm tired of getting through this. I'm lacking determination. It's like your steam just kind of ran out. It's almost, I see like a steam engine just going, like just poofing out, and like, oh, I'm tired. I don't want this anymore. Okay. And then the core of the matter, the heart, is the Seven of Wands, which is, like I said, all about defending oneself. It's almost like it's either you're unable to make a decision to move away from this because you're almost defending your choice because you'd feel stupid if you didn't go along with it, because maybe you advocated for going down this path so hard before. So now you're almost being stubborn about it. You're like, yeah, it sucks. I'm tired. I don't like this anymore, or it's costing me more than I thought, but I need to defend myself from criticism here, from the wolves that would come and devour me if turns out I made a mistake, or I didn't, I did the wrong thing, quote unquote, wrong thing, right? And then going forward, we have the Chariot, yeah, which is like determination and drive, and you're like, I'm trying to take back control over this, control over my life, control over what I actually want. And then, like I said, the outcome is having the space to make a decision more slowly, or to slow things down, okay? Or to be able to make a more wise, deliberate decision the next time you come to a crossroads where you can take another path, okay? So it seems like the universe, actually, pile 3, what's being offered to you to clear the obstacle is a chance to take more control and to slow down, to move more deliberately, okay? Because right now, I get a lot of tired energy out of this reading. We have Heavy Matters, which literally is like burdens on you, okay? And then the Nine of Wands reversed especially is like, oh my god, like, I'm done with this. And then Seven of Wands is like, I feel defensive about it even. I feel like I have to defend myself from people and from things. I just want to get away. Like, that type of feeling. I'm running. There's a lot of running imagery too, like moving away, okay? Even with the Chariot too, which is literally like a chariot just like blazing full speed ahead. I'm running away. I need to get away. But it's like you running away led to, like, not the outcome you expected it would be. But you're getting a chance to fix that, pile 3, okay? You're getting a chance with that Knight of Wheels, or Pentacles reversed, and the Chariot next to each other, okay? So I will ask additional questions like I have for every other pile today. The first question I've been asking for all the piles is, how does the outcome come about? How do you get that chance to make a different decision or slow down? Maybe relieve the burdens a little bit too. And then we'll also just ask general advice going forward for you with this particular problem, pile 3, to help get you to that positive outcome. So, Spirit, for pile 3, could you provide me 3 cards that explains more about, like, how does this outcome come about? Like, what's the avenue in which it comes forward? Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so it could be something to do with money or inheritance money, or something passed down from family, or like a mentor to a trainee or student. Let's talk about that in a moment. We have the 5 of Cups, okay, and then we have the 4 of Wands reversed. There's a lot about moving and home too. It's very interesting. Uno momento. So pile 3, I want to say the solution or the outcome comes about because this is going to sound very odd, but there is like an inheritance or a legacy or something from family after a time of sadness, because the 5 of Cups is about sorrow or like a time of sadness. Like, it's either you realizing something after a depression or a sadness because of this thing that's going on, and like that inherits to you like the tools to get through, or it could literally mean like a family inheritance here after a time of sorrow. So maybe it's even money that you're needing to get out of this situation is why. But that's how it comes about. And then we have the Four of Wands reversed, which is about like either instability in the home or like it can also just mean like issues in the home or like a lack of celebration, like something that's not. Oh, this sounds very dismal, pile 3. I'm sorry, but like I want to be an honest tarot reader with what I'm seeing. But so the good news is, yes, that challenge is being overcome. Okay. It might not be through the avenue you expect it to come through. Like I said, you have the inheritance card next to a time of sorrow, next to something with instability in the home, okay, or something that does not cause celebration. So perhaps there's a loss around that time, okay, or it could be that it's like you have been like just in an emotional funk around that time, okay. But the good news with the Five of Cups is that he's focused on everything that's spilled here with the 4 that are down, but there is one that's still upright. So there is like a silver lining to it. And I feel like that silver lining is the particular thing from this that'll help get you through. Okay. So there is happiness coming after the time of sadness here, pile 3. Okay, I promise you. So it sounds like a very odd avenue for this particular outcome to come through, but that is what I'm seeing for this particular reading. So what looks like a sorrow on the surface, there is a silver lining that will provide you an avenue out of the tired situation that you're in, okay? Especially with the Ten of Pentacles is like, yeah, inheritance, family, generations. Okay, so maybe you receive an inheritance of some sort, or maybe you already have, and you're kind of like working through getting it, or maybe there's been issues getting it, but then finally you do, things like that. Something along those lines. Okay, and then to cap off the reading, pile 3, I want to ask for the final question, just general advice going forward with this until it resolves. Okay, so Spirit for pile 3, please provide us 3 cards that explains general advice for this. General advice for them on this particular issue before it resolves. We have the Hermit reversed. Okay, come out of your shell a little bit more. Nine of Pentacles reversed. Okay, recognize that which you're not getting the fruits of your labor. And then we have the Queen of Cups following your heart. Okay. So in general, pile 3, advice in this situation. There's some aspect of maybe you've been kind of hiding away from people a little bit, maybe out of shame if this is not working out the way that you thought it would, or maybe like, with the Five of Cups having come up earlier, maybe you've just even been in like a depressive funk over this. What they're saying is get out of your shell a little bit more and interact with people a little bit more. It could even be that part of this, is like the solution comes through maybe through like interacting with other people, like advice from them, or maybe they give you some insight into that avenue out of the issue going on, okay? And then you have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, that's B. Advice to make sure that you get the fruits of your labor out of what you put in, okay? So for example, if you're really still determined on this path, but you're not sure if it's costing you more than you're getting, analyze what parts of this situation are really actually worth it. Okay? Are you getting fairly compensated for your time and your effort and your blood and your sweat and your tears? That is another question to ask yourself regarding the situation that they're advising you on, okay? And then not pile 3. You are pile 3, but card 3, we have the Queen of Cups, is to follow your heart. Deep down, the Queen of Cups is about someone who follows their intuition and is in tune with their emotions. A, how do you feel about this situation? What are your emotions? Okay, I mean, I am picking up on being pretty dang tired. That's the number one that kind of come through the whole reading, but really, pile 3, what do you feel? Okay. What is your intuition? Ask deep down. What is my gut feeling? And follow that, okay? Are you really happy? Is this really working out? Is this really the right time? You know, there's times in life to be stubborn and determined, and there's times in life where it's wise to let go if you're not truly happy deep down, okay? So that is their advice to you, pile 3. Thank you so much for tuning in. I apologize that reading was it wasn't dark necessarily, but it was a bit of a heavier reading compared to the other piles today. So, my condolences to you, pile 3, if you've been going through some heavy stuff recently, if maybe things aren't working out the way that you expected, or, maybe you've been a bit depressed or sad. My heart goes out to you if that is the case. And I hope this reading did help you, okay? I hope that brings some hope to your life and a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel of everything going on. Of, okay, things are going to slow down. It's going to be okay. We're going to have control. Maybe we'll have a chance to get right back on the right track or towards something more that aligns with what you actually want, okay? So yeah, if you liked it, if the reading resonated with you, please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is custom tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile 3, full of less strife and full of less tiredness, more energy, right? And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.